News Hour indeed. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Hi, Rich.
Hey, good afternoon, Sandra. I'm Rich Edson in for John Roberts in Washington. Fox News confirms the suspect is 59-year-old Rex Heuermann. He's expected to be arraigned sometime this hour on Long Island after authorities arrested him last night in New York City.
There has been a heavy police presence all day outside of his Massapequa Park home. It is about a 25-minute ride from where 4 women were found along the highway leading to Gilgo Beach back in 2010. 6 more victims were found nearby in 2011. Many of his neighbors reacting to the arrest this morning.
The guy's been quiet, never really bothers anybody. We're kind of shocked.
It's crazy. It's mind-blowing. It's, quiet Massapequa Park.
I've had small talk with the gentleman because he would do like woodwork, just, average guy living in, suburban neighborhood.
Retired Connecticut homicide detective Brian Foley is standing by with analysis. But first we go to Lauren Green, live in our New York City newsroom. Lauren, what do we know about this suspect?
Well, until today, that was basically it. So far, what we know about this suspect is that he is just an everyday kind of man, leading a middle-class life in one of Long Island, New York's bedroom communities. 59-year-old Rex Heuermann is now in custody, is expected to make a court appearance any minute now. But from some new information we got from the bail application, which lists the charges against him: 3 counts of murder in the first degree, 3 counts of murder in the second degree. Heuermann is the owner of RH Architectural Design Company in Manhattan. The company does architectural consulting as well as helping contractors and building owners navigate the state's various building codes. He was arrested around 8:30 last night near his office on 5th Avenue, Manhattan. Early this morning, a swarm of police vehicles surround Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park on New York's Long Island. They are searching his residence for evidence in connection with the notorious Gilgo murders of 4 women that could be linked to as many as 10 killings. It began in 2010 with the search of a missing woman, 23-year-old Shannon Gilbert. During the search, police discovered the bodies of 4 other women: 24-year-old Melissa Bartholomew, 25-year-old Maureen Brainerd Barnes, 22-year-old Megan Waterman, and 27-year-old Amber Lynn Costello, now known as the Gilgo 4. All were reportedly working as Craigslist escorts. Heuermann's neighbors are finding it hard to believe.
Everything is safe, everything is good. This was totally a shock.
Shocked, surprised, crazy that it happens in where you live now.
Now, investigators are scheduled to hold a press conference in a few hours, and as I said, Heuermann is expected to make a court appearance any minute now. Back to you.
Lauren Green live in New York. Lauren, thank you. Sandra?
All right, let's bring in retired Connecticut homicide detective Brian Foley. Great to have you here, Brian. Make some sense of what we're seeing here. This is obviously Riverhead, New York, where we are expecting that arraignment to take place after the suspect was arrested this morning. The family of one of the victims was speaking outside of the courthouse just a few moments ago, suggesting they believe that there's more than one killer involved here. But at last they said somebody's in custody.
Well, certainly there could be more, but what we're going to get here at his arraignment is he's going to appear before the court, and we're going to get a look at the charges, but not the full case, bare bones at best. I can tell you, the police officers or the people that are talking out of law enforcement are using the phrase good old-fashioned police work. Typically, that doesn't weigh heavily on DNA. I have to suspect DNA does play a part of this, but somehow, typically when you have DNA, you want something else linking that person to the area and the time when the incident occurred too. That would be where your good old-fashioned police work comes in, and that's chasing down credit cards, chasing down license plate readers, chasing down anything that you can find that put that person in the area around that time of the murder. So I like that I hear good old-fashioned police work. I like that they're saying they never stopped working the case. This is a comfort to families around the country that are waiting to have cases solved.
Please subscribe while you're waiting.
More than 10 years after.
This is an update on the Gilgo Beach murder.
Speaking outside the courthouse, the first cousin of Jessica, who
I can't bring you more videos if you don't subscribe and hit that bell.
Just can we put up the map of the Gilgo Beach killings, just to sort of give the
for you guys, not for me.
Island, the vicinity,
trying to build a channel, so subscribe.
And what we're dealing with now. And then the map of the suspect's home in relation to those killings. He lived just 15 miles away. To put this in perspective for everybody. And now what we're learning about this suspect, Rex Heuermann, and the Gilgo Beach murders, he is 59 years old. He's an architect. He's married with 2 children. He was arrested in Midtown Manhattan Thursday night. The lawyer for the family just a short time ago said they learned about this suspect and his arrest at 6:20 a.m. this morning. And other than that, this was not somebody who was even on their radar. So how do police handle a case like that where the family's already getting tipped off that they're following somebody so closely?
Sometimes you can't tip off the families because the families sometimes talk to media, and this has been a very widely publicized case. So just because the cops don't tell them about it doesn't mean they have
Any
to know.
moment
I
now, the
promise you,
arraignment
he became a suspect.
of this
He grew to
animal.
hail police officers 24/7. Because if he's a suspect,
So while you're waiting,
the worst
please
thing that can
subscribe.
happen is while you're investigating it that he goes out and takes another body out as well. So you have to follow him. That gets expensive. He made it easy in this close area geographically. He's making it easier for the cops. It's only so many law enforcement agencies now that are going to get involved. You can bet a handful of federal agencies, state and local, but these types of teams, and I've been on them, you have the prosecutors, the cops, and the scientists all working this case together. But that is a small area. I'm sure all the police departments know each other, the prosecutors, everybody's familiar. They have something strong to put down 3 murders and get him behind bars. Now they'll start working the rest of the cases of all the Gilgo Beach murders.
Is there, I mean, there's a chance that we won't know. This arraignment could be happening right now. We've asked to put cameras in the room. We don't know where that stands. We can't get a whole lot of information out of the courthouse directly. You're smiling because I'm sure you know how that goes.
Correct.
But we've been told no electric devices allowed in the courtroom itself. So we don't know what we're about to see here, but again, this could be happening right now. It was expected to happen by 2 o'clock Eastern time.
So we'll be ready, but typically sometimes at best they'll allow 1 pool camera in there, and that cameraman feeds it out to all the rest of the agencies. The photog will feed it out all the rest of the agencies. Obviously they're going to be very tight, letting people in there, and each judge in each courtroom is different. There's no uniform way of determining whether or not cameras are
Thanks for watching. It looks like we're not going to be able to go in the courtroom,
for
so
a while too. It's very frustrating when you want to get in
if
there.
there's updates, I'll bring it.
Let the cameraman get in there. So I understand the reasons.
while you're
There's
waiting,
victims'
subscribe.
families that might definitely not want a camera on them.
God bless and thanks for watching.
Well, interesting you say that because there was the one family who just spoke outside with one of the attorneys that's representing the victims' families. But then our producer, who was asking what that long line was in the courthouse just a moment ago, did say that some of them identified as family members of the victims. So they're there. They are certainly there, and they're hopeful that this leads to something. This was the lawyer for some of the victims, John Ray, on
See you later. God bless.
on Fox News.
Subscribe.
Earlier today. Listen.